I just want to warn some people before seeing this movie, Sydney Sweeney is wearing jeans in this movie. Because I know a lot of people want to talk about her jeans lately. In my opinion, she's got good jeans. Americana stars Sydney Sweeney and is about the lives of local outsiders and outcasts violently intertwined when a rare ghost shirt falls onto the black market in a small South Dakota town. From writer and director Tony Tost in his feature debut, but he's previously worked on the show Longmire. I have not seen that show. We're talking his brand new movie, Americana. So I saw no trailers, no ads, nothing for this movie, and I find that kind of shocking because this movie stars Sydney Sweeney, and I understand she's got some hot shit on her right now for dumb reasons, but, you know, she is still extremely popular. You also have Halsey in this movie. You have a good cast here, and I've not seen anything for this movie, and I went to the theaters tonight to go see it. There was no one in my theater, and I'm going to walk out and say this. I think this might be a hidden gem kind of movie, because I personally really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty good. Again, I've not seen any scores for Rotten Tomatoes, nothing. I just drove home, turned on the camera, and I'm talking my review. So let's just get straight into the positives. First things first, in his feature debut, I think Tony Tost does a pretty good job with this movie. This movie is an example of like Fargo meets No Country for Old Men, but it's not that Coen Brothers like weird humor. This movie has some funny parts, but overall, this is a modern Western movie that, for the most part, I think this director did a pretty good job showcasing like different people's outlook set in this little town, people who aren't the smartest, then you have people who are really dangerous, all coming after one item, this ghost Indian shirt, and it also falls into it cost a lot of money, people want money, so people are going after it because money. And so I think the director did a really good job balancing the tone here, being funny, really good dramatic points, and having some pretty good action scenes in there. Again, it is a modern Western movie, and for the most part, I was entertained. I like this story. I'm a sucker for these kind of stories because it usually just turns out to be like wacky characters going into a dangerous situation that turns out to be a bloodbath by the end, which this movie has. So I really enjoyed overall the story and the direction that this guy went with. And now with our cast, I understand. I really don't understand why, but I understand that Sydney Sweeney is under crap right now due to the whole jeans thing. I'm not going to talk about that crap. I'm talking about her performance in this movie. And I understand a lot of guys, a lot of people just think she is just big boobs and hot. Do I agree? Yes. But I'm here to tell you, this is another case where she is really showing she is a damn good actress. Her character is this just really innocent waitress girl who has a stutter. Her performance is so genuine. Like, you would seriously look at this character and think it's not her when you watch, like, Euphoria or Anyone But You. Like, she is giving a great performance in this movie, and I gotta give it up to her. So is Halsey's. Halsey is really good in this movie. Her character is interesting because they do give her a development from her background, but we'll get to that more in the issues, unfortunately. But for her performance, I thought Halsey was great here. I really hope she continues to act in movies because she was one of the most interesting characters in this movie, besides Sydney Sweeney, in my opinion. Then you have Paul Walter Hauser, who he has always been good in every movie he's in, especially like Richard Jewell's, like the one that come to my mind. He's really good here. He's a very good guy, getting in a very dangerous situation. I mean, there's so many people in this movie, but like Simon Rex is one of our bad guys in this movie. There's tons of actors in this movie I recognize. I just can't remember the names right now. But everyone serves their character to the story, and it gives it enough entertainment to where there is a lot of characters, and the movie is told in a 5-part structure. It's part 1, part 2, and everything like that. But the thing is, the movie does a good job showing each character's background enough in the story that when you're watching these characters go after this one item for money, you understand where they're all coming from and why they want this item. So I really think they did a good job just creating this like chase of a movie, you could say. And by the end of it, I was really locked in, and I am shocked how dramatic the ending is. I don't want to spoil it, But the ending almost brought a tear to my eye. I was like, damn. Big reason is to our main performances of Sydney Sweeney, Paul Walter Hauser, Halsey. Like, they truly just elevate this material, and I gotta give it up to them, all of them. Now, when I get more into my cons, I will say this is something that I said in my weapons review recently, and I continue to say it because it's just me personally. I'm not a fan of when movies don't tell the story chronologically. It's just not my favorite, honestly. Like, I know the famous ones like Pulp Fiction and everything. It's not my favorite. This movie does it weirdly. So it starts off with part 1, and it shows a scene in the very beginning, and this scene is told out of order. After that part 1, it goes to part 2. From part 2 to part 5, it's told in order. I don't understand why they did parts then. Why was part one if it's not in order? You see what I'm saying here? Like, again, it's just, that is honestly a small critique, but it's just something that bothers me. I love the theater. I was like, why was it part 1? Shouldn't that be like part 3? I don't know. Because I understand why they did it, because usually in movies, in the first 5 minutes, you want to like intrigue your audience right away. So that's why they put this scene here. So in the very beginning, you're like, oh, what the hell is happening? I got to keep watching now. I just don't understand why it was called part 1 and why even do all the parts. I mean, if everything else was told in order, why do the parts? Again, I'm just being very picky. My big issue, actually, and this is the one that actually I hope I want people's opinion on. I hope you go see this because I want to know their opinion. My big issue is morely of the dramatic beats and the comedy beats. Like I said, there's a lot of characters in this movie. Prime example of this is Simon Rex. He's a bad guy, and he's doing shady things, and he's working with the dad from Euphoria to get this item, and that's what kind of kickstart everything off, dealing with the money and everything. There is like a mix of character development with him, and they give you enough to where it works, but I feel like there were so many characters in this movie and so many backgrounds that they do. The pacing of the movie didn't really work for me, and sometimes the tonal shifts were so jarring. Like I said, the ending of this movie almost got a tear in my eye. I did not expect that. It came out of nowhere, and the movie is trying to explore so many ideas. Big example, Native Americans. That is a huge little plot line in this movie, and it's trying to make a comment about today's culture and how people view cowboys and Indians and everything. And there's this little boy character that it's morely of a joke, trying to convey that this little boy is not who he is. And I don't want to spoil the movie, but it just didn't come off as like, you're trying to do a message, I get it. But like, I think the message itself could have been way more explained in a way where you didn't have to have this character literally doing something to make this a cultural impactful moment. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm saying. But also, another thing is, when you have all these characters and these backgrounds, Halsey's character has this family background that you meet, and for 5 minutes, I'm like, what is going on? And then it never really wants to explain much. Like, when you see the movie, again, I don't want to spoil it, Halsey's background character is like a family that's very strict in Adam and Eve. That's all I can say. And I just feel like what was the point? Like, I get, like, we're meeting her family, that's where, like, the third act really happens, but, like, I don't feel like it was needed. Like, I didn't feel like that part was needed, unless I'm missing something. Again, it's my first viewing, but, like, for the most part, I enjoyed the performances, I enjoyed the direction, I enjoyed the story, I liked where it began, I liked where it ended. There is a little bit of predictability. Like, there's stuff I'm like, all right, this is gonna make the final shot, or this is gonna be the final moment in the movie. When a certain character says something, I was like, all right, that's gonna be the final moment. I was very much right, but there is a few things where I'm like, characters get shot, characters get killed. I'm like, did not expect that. But hey, that's a good thing. So overall, I think this is a recommend from me. And if it's playing your local movie theater, I would recommend it. I feel like this is a movie like my parents would really like, and I feel like older crowd might enjoy it. But like for the younger crowd, you get to see Sydney Sweeney, and she's very fucking good in this movie. Like, her stutter is so good in this movie. She's so good. So is Halsey. So is Paul Walter Hauser. Everyone in this movie. Simon Rex. They're all so good in this movie. Again, I have some issues with, like, character's background, the pace of it being a little bit crammed, like Halsey's character, Simon Rex's character, even a little bit of Sydney Sweeney, but honestly, they give her enough to where, like, our main character is well known, but they give her, like, this little, like, mean mom moment, and, like, that's the only moment you get. There's more about her character that you care about more than her background. There's just things like that I feel like could have been a little fleshed out better, and it would have made a more cohesive and more intense third act because you care about every character. So, stuff like that is my little issue, and like I said, why the hell was it told in 5 parts? I don't understand. Like, just don't do it. Just don't do it, okay? I understand. That's just me. Tell your movies in order. Anyway, guys, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to give Americana a B+. And to anyone out there that wants to say anything about, why are you reviewing a movie with Sydney Sweeney? She supports Nazis or whatever bullshit. Oh my God, that was... I don't want to get all political, but I can't believe a jeans commercial ad has started controversy and political conversations. What the fuck, man? She's a great actress. I'm talking about her performance, but I just gotta say that, like, people... Why? Why is everything just gotta be something? Like, never mind. I should just shut up now. I'm gonna leave this in the video, though. If you want to come at me, come at me. It was fucking jean commercial. Anyways, go see Americana. She wears jeans. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.